Everyone calling AI a bubble is secretly praying they're right, because if they're wrong, well, everything they have ever stood for is completely irrelevant. Now, in order to clarify exactly what I mean, I'm gonna have to step away from this economic perspective forecasted on bubbles and talk about the psychological aspect of it. Now, the AI bubble narrative is simply a coping mechanism. It's the same thing that happened during the internet, during the steam engine, during the printing press. And the reason for that is humans do not like chaotic events. Humans do not like inventions that bring chaotic, future events. And so they try to translate it into a simple story. And when they saw all the chaos created by AI, all the stuff that AI is going to take our jobs, and that AI is going to become smarter than us, naturally, they tried to make it into a simple story. Now, one of the main ways they did that is they looked for a very similar event that happened in the past to right now, and that was the dot-com bubble. Now, I'm sure you've heard of it, and we're going to talk about it in a bit, but in a simple way, what happened was there was this new invention, a lot of chaos was created, there was a lot of hype, and suddenly it collapsed. And that's a very simple story. Hype led to collapse. And they, without even looking at the facts, they said, okay, the AI bubble is the same. The same thing is going to happen. It's going to crash. And that's a very simple story. Now I know what you're thinking. Yes, billions of dollars are being invested into junk startups. Take OpenAI for example. Well, it's not a junk startup, but hundreds of billions of dollars are being invested into it. And, well, they're not seeing a return on investment. And true, but that's just noise. The true signal is that we are scaling the marginal cost of cognition towards zero. Look at all the AI tools that are coming out that are transforming the industry. Cloud Code, Seed Dance, Nano Banana, all this stuff, all this machine learning stuff. And if you can't distinguish between a failing IPO and the transformation of our industry and basically the mechanization of logic, then you're not thinking strategically. You're simply clinging to what makes you comfortable. Now let's look at it from a historical context, specifically the 1840s British Railway Mania. Now what happened there is thousands of miles of tracks were laid by British companies that all became bankrupt. Investors lost everything. But when the dust settled, after all the chaos went away, the tracks remained. And in fact, those tracks single-handedly made Britain into one of the greatest empires ever seen. The companies were a bubble, but the new infrastructure, the tracks laid, single-handedly transformed the whole industry and it became a new reality. Now let's pivot back to, when was it? The 1990s, during the dot-com bubble. Everybody remembers the crash, but what nobody remembers about the dot-com bubble is the hundreds of miles of dark fiber laid on the ocean floor. Now those dark fiber cables are the exact reason you can stream this video for free without paying anything. Regardless if it was a bubble, we would not be here if it wasn't for those cables. Now, a really good takeaway from this, and I really like this saying, basically, the bubble paid for the future's entrance fee. Yes, there was chaos, but that's the price we had to pay to evolve into a better species. Let's apply that logic to today. You may see another chatbot or a rapper app and smell a bubble. Okay, fine. That's acceptable. But what you're missing is the tracks being laid, the massive data centers, the GPU clusters, the energy companies, direct energy from nuclear plants, water cooling companies, all of this stuff. They are silently transforming the industry. While we're arguing about if it's a bubble, those massive data centers, all of those companies, they are being incorporated into the real industry. And that alone proves that AI is not a bubble. Now, the hidden assumption is not economical. It's existential. It's about you. Now, most people define their value by their output, the code they wrote, the stories they made, and the spreadsheets they made. When they see a machine do that for 2 cents, their ego enters a state of emergency. Now, why is that dangerous? In order to kind of calm down, they hit the snooze button by calling AI a bubble, and now they're fine. But we all know that comfort is the enemy of clear thinking here, and that's a very dangerous state to be in. We have to face reality. The industrialization of logic is here. Thought now costs nothing, basically. Now, some advice for you is, while everybody is arguing about a crash or bubble or whatever they're talking about, I want you to redraw the map, while others are still arguing about the old one. Now, what I mean by that is, well, the world does not reward those who write about a crash. It rewards those who are prepared to harness what remained. And that's a very important lesson.